Let's bring in Mo Egger from ESPN Cincinnati. And Mo, our poll question is, who is the best receiver in the NFL right now? Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, or other? You got some thoughts on that, my dog?
Well, I do, but first, can I ask some questions? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you 3 questions? Okay, number 1, was that your boat?
How about that?
You've asked that before. No.
Okay, I don't know. Secondly, are you broadcasting from like where you do your morning workout?
As a matter of fact, yes. Johnny O's Gymnasium. I worked out, went home, had a shower, came back. That's 2.
And then, what is with that shirt? There's a lot going on with that shirt. Kansas City Chiefs colors, I would suppose. I don't know. That looks like, I watched a lot of bad music videos in the 90s. I think you stole that from one of the sets. The answer is Justin Jefferson. I'm willing to say that Jamar Chase is in the conversation. But I think Justin Jefferson has often operated in an offense that's just, it's asking him to do more in relation to the talent around him, asking him to do more in relation to the quarterbacks. Nothing against, the Kirk Cousins or whoever they've had in Minnesota. But I think Justin Jefferson owns that title. But it's a fun conversation to have. And it's a fun conversation to have about where the wide receiver market is going next. And that's obviously something we have been focused on a lot here in Cincinnati. I'm sorry if you love that shirt. I apologize, but there's a lot that hits you right in the eyes when you first look at it.
It's television, Mo. It's television. So that's the one thing. Number 2, it's from a clothing brand in Florida called Whole Life, and they did me up a series of shirts in NFL team colors. I didn't ask for it. They just did it. And since we're bullying each other, do you remember when Jamar Chase went in the first round to the Bengals and you were mad? You wanted an O-lineman? I remember
that wasn't
day.
Me. No, I was Team
Yes,
Chase.
it was.
I was Team Chase all along. But look, Penei Sewell's a heck of a player. And Penei Sewell has his second contract with the Lions. Jamar Chase doesn't have his yet. Look, the Bengals drafted at the time for what they felt like they needed, which was explosiveness. We think, and look, the league is operating this way, right? It's a passing league. Wide receivers matter more than ever. They're getting paid more than ever. If we have an element of explosiveness, we can fix the other stuff. We can be okay on the offensive line. And from a Cincinnati perspective, I guess you could look at the offensive line play one of 2 ways. Number 1, they've addressed it since that draft. They also, with a bad offensive line, made the Super Bowl, in large part because they had Jamar Chase. At the same time, Joe Burrow's health is always a question, and he is going to be playing, I think, behind the best offensive line he's ever played behind, but still probably at best a league average offensive line. It's a fun game of what if, right? What if the Bengals give Joe Burrow a franchise tackle in Penei Sewell? What's the butterfly effect from that? Well, maybe they're as good, maybe they're better, maybe they're worse, but chances are T. Higgins right now has a long-term contract with the Cincinnati Bengals instead of playing this year on a franchise tag.
It's interesting. I don't know. Tell me if you find this as fascinating as I do, and I think personnel people do. These receivers we're talking about on their rookie contracts, which are 4 years plus 1, they're all getting the bag early. And we got 3 rookie quarterbacks starting this year. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, obviously, Bo Nix. That's tied for the most ever. These kids are coming in, Mo, more ready than ever to start. And star. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think there's a few reasons. First of all, it's how the league works, right? To a large degree, at a lot of positions, the middle-class player has been squeezed out, where the elite guys are always going to get paid. But now there's such a premium on, young talent making an impact right away, because certainly first-round draft choices can't sign contracts that put them in the league for 7 or 8 years. No longer can you take someone early and go, well, he's going to sit for a year or 2, and then by year 3 or 4, he'll get his feet wet, and then year 5. No. We need you good now. That's how the league works. Also, I just feel like college football is doing a better job of getting guys ready for the NFL. We have more pro-style offenses. We have more, I think just the professionalization of college football means, in many respects, these guys are pros and being treated as pros. and getting training like pros and behaving like pros before they end the, quote, professional ranks. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, now, I'll give you an example here. Dax Hill was drafted by the Bengals in the first round in 2022. Barely played his first season, played last year, didn't play well. So he goes into year 3, and it's like, dude, put up or shut up. Now, the good news for him is not only has he made the team, he is going to be a starting corner. He changed positions. But we don't wait around for you to contribute anymore. Teams have to make decisions. Players have to make decisions. Players have to make an impact early. And so the league right now is really all about getting a lot out of cheap talent and then paying the guys who are the absolute upper crust dudes. And then we'll just sort through the middle class guys, both on individual teams and in the league as a whole.
You make a good point. For just as many that are starring early, there's just as many that are fizzling out. But I'll do you one more. And says college. I got a buddy here in Wellington, Florida. His kid's 7 years old and participated in a combine for his flag football team at the age of 7. And initially I thought that was crazy. And then I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe it's not. I don't know. That's where it's going. And that's why I think these players are so much more prepared. Yeah? You're going to say something? I can tell.
No, there's certainly something to that. I hope the kid's having fun with it, right? I have a 7-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
My 7-year-old is not going to be a high-end athlete, I can tell you that. But when it comes to youth sports, as long as the kids are enjoying what they're doing, and if that means individual training or extensive training that kind of goes beyond the typical traditional youth coaching, then that's fine. I worry about, though, when I hear about things like that, I worry about burnout. And I also I know dads, I know parents they're so hyper-focused on their kids' individual progress that they kind of lose sight of what it's like to be a teammate, what it means to be a teammate, how to be a good teammate, also how to socialize. And I know as hokey as this sounds, I still believe that youth sports are supposed to serve that function first. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I know college coaches who have 6th and 7th graders on their radar. And that's just the world that we live in, whether we like it or not.
Hey, well, by the way, this kid loves it, but I also go to most of their games, and they were just strolling along all year, Mo, until they came up against an inner city team.
Yeah.
They got their asses whipped. And I'm like, you just got a life lesson, boys. There's always going to be somebody meaner, somebody nastier, somebody big. There's always going to be. So you might as well learn it now. So anyways, as usual, I could go
did you wear
on
that shirt to one of those games?
But I don't want to be fighting in the stands. No. Maybe if the Chiefs are in town. Hey, thank you, Mo. Thanks for picking on me and keeping me humble. I appreciate it, man. Enjoy the ball this weekend.
You look like you worked at Burger King in 1986 wearing that thing.
At least I had a job in 1986. I was
9 years old in 1986.
I was working at the age of 12. Thanks, Mo.
See you, man. Good to see you as always.
Bye.
How about that?
The great Mo Egger from ESPN Cincinnati.